Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Live. I gotta. These make the best freaking little
Holders.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna want to make sure that people can hear it okay once we get some viewers and that sort of thing. So how long are you out here on the West Coast? When did you?
I came out here at the beginning of July, and I will be here till tomorrow. Then I'm going to go to Bellflower for the Hard Times Bellflower tournament, and then I'm going to Las Vegas to play Bustamante, race to 21 for $15,000, and I'll be there until around the 1st of August, and I'll have my booth set up for game tight at the expo during the tournament. So I'll play in the tournament, or I'll play Bustamante 19th through the 21st, and then I'll be in the booth the rest of the way and just be around, you know.
Where are you gonna play Boosty? Are you gonna play at Sharks?
We play at Good Times Village, so. And Daniel Bush will be streaming it, POV Pool.
POVpool.com, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Yes.
So, one of the people wanted to ask, like when you're getting ready for a tournament or a match, how many hours a day you practice?
Never.
Never.
Never. I just can't. I pick up bad habits. I don't have, my attention span's not there to, I mean, it's probably a bad habit. I probably should hit balls for an hour here and there. I might hit balls maybe 30 minutes sometimes, just to get a little feel, but I don't practice like that.
So how do you attribute becoming the player that you are?
I just always gambled a lot. Always put pressure on myself. If you don't have something on the line and you miss a ball, are you gonna remember it? Probably not. But if you lost $5, you might be a little hot, and at least it sticks with you. If you dog the 9 ball for a reason,
Yeah.
So you learn from things that cost you in life. So if you don't learn from the things that cost you in life, you're not gonna probably learn nothing. So something always has to cost you in life in order for you to become better. So it's just every aspect of life, whether it's pool or whatever it is. So.
How old were you when you started playing, and how did you get into the game?
I started when I was 14. There was a pool room about a half mile up the street from my house. It wasn't that I really wanted to play pool. I just used to go in there to play arcade games. And then they used to have a free juniors tournament on Sundays that paid like $15 for first and $5 for second. And it was every Sunday, so me and my cousin Amar, we'd just go there and we'd play the arcade games, and then we figured, hey, if we win this money, we can go play more arcade games. So we did it, you know what I mean? So, but eventually, he played better. He'd win it more often than me. And then it just kind of happened from there, and then just started liking it, and then started seeing the atmosphere, and seeing that some people gamble and stuff in there, and then that was just kind of one of the, and I always liked to gamble, even probably at the age of 10 or 11, I probably did it, so it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Just kind of caught on. Yeah.
So, did you have certain people show you things that you felt like were critical along the way, or?
I mean, I did a lot of mimicking people, but there was a few people that I watched, like, Warren the Monk, Todd Marsh, Bill Kress used to show me stuff, when he was around, and there was a few people that I would just, pick up little, things they just tell me, you know what I mean? It wasn't maybe some of the stuff I used, some of the stuff I didn't use, but it was just a point that they're telling me things, and yeah, it's something for me to put in my head and think about what they're telling me. Whether or not I used it, I can't say, you know what I mean? But it was just, I'd watch them play, and I'd watch them gamble with people, and maybe wonder why they shot a certain shot, and then I take it for what it is, and maybe I might try to mimic it when I play somebody, and 9 times out of 10 it probably didn't work out the way they shot it, but at least I used it and I learned from it, and then I figure out what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right.
And when you were figuring out what you were doing wrong and what you were doing right and that sort of thing, did you spend time on the table by yourself? I mean, did you ever have that time where
I mean,
Felt
I
like
would.
you couldn't put it
I
down?
always played people like 10 or 20 a game.
Okay.
You know, whether you have the money or not, you know, sometimes, you know, I mean, when I was young, we used to fire air barrels at each other. It just, you know, it was just one of those things. You know, you'd be in the pool, you know, I mean, but you're playing cheap enough to where, you know, it was just, you know, hey, okay, you know, if you lose 40, 50 bucks, oh well, you know what I mean? When you beat somebody else, maybe you'll pay me or something, you know, it was just one of those things. But it's just, if you, like I said, if you don't play for something, how can you learn something? If I sit there and play with you for 3 hours and you keep beating up on me, yeah, your confidence is getting better, but did you learn anything? Because you didn't really win nothing from me, and I didn't really lose nothing from you beating me. So how did I get hurt, or how did you benefit from it? Neither one. So, you know, it's just one of them.
With you were hanging out with Amar and Bryce, and you know, I mean, the three of you all really excelled. Do you think you pushed each other, and were you gambling?
Yeah, because we were always kind of competitive. You know what I mean? We'd always, you know, we're all pretty much the same. I was always more of a person that could woof up games. They wouldn't talk as much maybe as me, but they always played better. But I just kind of, I had a knack for knowing how to talk to people, and you know what I mean, to try to persuade them. Well, try to persuade them to play a certain way or whatnot, you know, or you know, sometimes being polite is the easiest way to try to get somebody to play you. You know, if you're not polite, I mean, if you're an asshole and you're sitting there, you know, trying to, you know, if you're cussing every other word and, you know, trying to get somebody to bet $100, $200, chances are sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the person you're trying to do it with, you know.
Well, so
more of a people person, that's all.
I thought there is a big difference between, you know, Tony Chohan at 23, or you know, when you were really first coming into Vegas and dominating on the scene type of thing, and you know, of course today, or even you know, when we were running the Peach Hour tour and stuff, did something change, or you know, were you humbled in some way, or?
I mean, I always, you know, when you're coming up, you always, you don't, it's like now, you know, everybody expects you to play a certain way. You know, if everybody says you're the best, then you got to play like the best, you know. If everybody says, oh, you're just mediocre, or they don't talk to you about stuff like that, then you're always going to have that, more of that, you know, you're trying to build yourself to try to become something better, and your confidence level's not there, so, or people aren't making your head big, you know what I mean? So you're always trying to become that person that they want you to become. And once you become that person, now they hold you to that standard, and then you get a big head. Sometimes you don't play up to par because it's like, I'd rather be the mediocre player and know that I have to play up to, you know, my best every time, and that a person, you know, I got to go into every match thinking that I'm the underdog. I can't think that I'm the favorite every time I go into a match. Because if I think that, then chances are I'm not going to win. So.
Yeah, it's funny. There's nothing to lose. It's like, there's everything to lose when you have a target on your back, as opposed to someone who isn't supposed to win comes in.
Right, exactly.
You know, gets there type of thing. So, what would you say? And I think that, you know, I've kind of asked it in different ways, that if a player that was, you know, starting wanted to, you know, try and be a player like yourself, what advice do you have?
All I can say is watch videos of pool, watch good players when they gamble with each other. You have to watch gambling matches, so that way you see why or why not somebody did something. When you watch tournament matches, sometimes I'm not saying tournament matches aren't good to watch because there is something on the line, but there's a different mode from tournament to gambling. You know, yeah. So you know what I mean. Tournaments one race, gambling's, you know, can last as long as the person's got money. You know, so it's just you know, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people know it now, but I just have a different mindset from gambling to tournaments. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just, you know.
Is that a new thing, or?
I mean, For me?
Yeah.
No, I've always rather gambling. Yeah, because I know at least if I miss a ball, I still got the next game, you know?
Yeah.
But when you know, shoot something in a tournament, there's no next game, you know what I mean? You're going to get punished for it. So, you know, tournaments are harder to win, you know what I mean? Because it's them one races against each person in the field, but there's no guarantee. Tournaments are so much harder to win, but
on the same token, they're kind of like not a true test of your
because
ability.
you could play the same person that you're playing in a tournament gambling, and they got no chance gambling, but they got that, you know, they might beat you every time in a tournament. So there's a mindset again, you know what I mean? Some people just better, you know, some people can't take the heat for money, and some people can. You know, I mean, John Schmidt, he told me the other day, he's like, man, I was playing you for 40 or 50 a game, I might rob you, but if I play for 5 or 10,000, I can't make a ball. You know, it's just, some people got it in them, some people don't. You know, it's just what it is. You know, I mean, I grew up gambling, so I guess I'm a little more, you know, relaxed about what I bet, or it doesn't really make a difference to me. You know, so
more settled into your shoes in that regard, and take the heat better, type of thing. And is there more action, you know, now kind of being in the Midwest, or how do you see that?
There's not really a whole lot more action, but there's more stuff going on. There's more tournaments, but at the tournaments you can always get in action with somebody or one. You know, like it's been kind of bad. You know what I mean? Like we come out here, there's only, you know, there's $15,000 added money, and there's not very much support. You know what I mean? It's just sad. You know what I mean? It's like, if you got guys putting up that kind of money, I mean, they don't put up that kind of money over there in the Midwest. It's not like it's that much bigger than what it is right here.
Right.
You know, it's just, there's just more people that play, more people willing to support, it seems like, and, you know, it's just, you know, people could say it's attributed to the fact that, you know, maybe California is expensive. It's not that much more expensive than living out there.
Showing up at the men's stops, so
and I'll tell you the truth. I mean, I don't want to badmouth the Mez Tour, but it's kind of made the people that play in the Mez Tour kind of not want to play in the Open tournaments because they're getting a game or two and they're paying a little bit less money.
Okay.
You know,
so you
it seems.
Has a lot to do with it,
I just kind of think that it's kind of they're kind of shortening themselves on playing good players and playing for a bigger amount of money, and you know, it's just. You know, I mean, yeah, it's fine if you want to pay if you can pay $65 to play in a tournament and you can pay $140 over the period of the weekend and it costs you $220 to go to the tournament or whatever, why wouldn't you pay $125 and it costs you another $140? It only costs you $60 more, but just you got a chance to win 5 times more money.
Yeah.
And you're around better players that you don't ever really get to see, and you know, it's just, you should want to support the tournaments where people put up money. I mean, he didn't have to add $10,000. I mean, he didn't say guaranteed, even though I know he was going to add the money. But he didn't have to add the $10,000 after he only got 45 players. I mean, it's just sad. You know? It's just, you know, I mean, pool's just really got to get a rude awakening soon, because if it doesn't, we're going to be telling the same old story year in, year out. And I've been hearing the same story for the last 20 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, what do you think about people that you know are top players that should be playing, but they're having jobs now or other things, and
I can understand. I can understand why a lot of people didn't come from the East Coast or the Midwest, because it's expensive to get here. I mean, I came from Detroit, but I got, you know, I have other means of getting here, or other people that are with me or whatever, you know. But it's expensive. I mean, the plane ticket alone is probably $400. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you're stuck $5 1/4 without paying your hotel.
Afraid that so many pros were going to be in the event that they wouldn't have a chance. Why do you think that the average player is like so hesitant to throw their hat in the ring against better players?
You know, I just feel like they feel like they're underdog, that they don't feel like they have a chance, and that's the wrong mentality. If you're going to play the game, you might as well play. You can't get better by playing Joe Schmo or your local, you know, you just can't do it. I mean, you have to play. In order to become better, you have to play the better players, and you have to take your whoopings like a man and just man up and get comfortable with playing good players. It's just what it is. You have to, if you're going to, I mean, I used to sit there and play Monk like 25, 50, 100 a game. Even, or even if, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I know I was going to lose or whatever, but I mean, I probably didn't bet 50 or 100 a game. I probably played like 25 a game, but I play them until, if you beat me 12 games, whatever, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but I wanted to sit there and just watch what he's going to do to me until I figured out, hey, you know what? I'm tired of losing. I need to start figuring out what he's doing and try to use it against him. But, it's just, people just have to understand the only way you become better is playing better players. You don't become better because you got 10 shots a game and you won that game.
Right.
That doesn't mean nothing. If you shoot 10 times in one game and the other guy missed 10 times and that's the reason you got 10 shots, that doesn't mean nothing. You didn't do nothing. You didn't win nothing. You didn't make a great out. You didn't run a few balls to get there or nothing. It's just, you got to learn to be able to, start playing your patterns. Look at the way you shoot. What are you doing wrong? Are you taking heat? You need to get, do you need to get your mental game a little better? Do you need to get your physical game better? Or am I not, approaching shots the right way? What is it, Or is my shape bad? Am I leaving myself bad angles? I look at some players and I see what they do, and they do it good. And the reason they do it good is because one thing about 10-ball rotation players, what they do really good is they keep their angles the right way. So, like, when I'm playing good rotation, it's usually because I'm keeping my angles the right way. I don't play it enough no more. I really don't. I just don't enjoy it because it really comes down to a breaking contest nowadays.
Right.
But
you think even in 10-ball that's the case? I mean, to me it seems
yeah,
like a
for the
little
most
bit
part,
less.
it still is though. It's just my preference isn't that. I like playing one pocket, but that's just me. You know what I mean? Sure. The next person might like playing 9-ball or 10-ball, and that's fine.
Of course.
But.
So what's your opinion on handicapping? Do you think that helps or hurts? I mean, it sounds like you think it hurts the game.
It hurts. It hurts because people feel like they need to have that crutch in order to come and play in something. Mm-hmm. If, with that being said, if that's the case, then you shouldn't play. You should just. I mean, really, it's coming down to where bar leagues and stuff like that, and league players are going towards bar tables and all the bar table events, which is fine. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. If bar table's the equalizer to make you play even with everybody, then so be it. It just shouldn't. I don't think it should be handicapped. I just don't believe pool should be handicapped. I believe every person can run out like the next person. You know what I mean? It's in them. It's just a matter of how much time they put in.
Can you quantify, like, your opinion on how much of an equalizer a bar table is versus a big table? Like a bar table alternating break, like a format that they have
it's huge.
Vegas.
It's huge.
Versus winter break on a 9-foot table like this. How to quantify that for me in, like, a ball spot?
Well, here's the thing. If you play alternate break on a big table, it takes away from the better player.
Right.
Okay. At the same time, on a bar table, it's huge. I mean, because I don't care if you play like I don't even know what the ratings are in the systems. It's 1 to 9 or whatever it is or whatever. But I guarantee you, a 9 and a 5 could probably play each other, and the 5 can run a rack just as well as the 9 can. So, I mean. And on a bar table, you can miss the ball and still make it 9 times out of 10, just the way the bar boxes are, so there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, really, it's just where pool has got to get better is money. Money's got to add up to where people are willing to come and play. Now, this was a perfect example of why people should have came and played, because there was no money taken out and all money was added.
Right.
And you had a lot of good players here, so that was one of the reasons why you would figure more players would have came and played. I understand it's $125, but you're only doing it once a year, or twice a year over here on this side of the country. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen that often. In the Midwest, my tour, my Tom tour, starts in November, and it's on a bar table, alternate break races to 8 on a bar table. 10 10 ball, you know, alternate break, but it's $125, but I guarantee you it's going to hit 100 players every event. It's just, and that was the reason I did it, was because more people feel like they have a chance on a bar table, which is fine. If that's what it's going to take to get the right number of people to play, then so be it. Then I'll do it on a bar table. If that's what it's going to take for pool rooms to add the money and for them to recoup some of their money, then so be it. I want everybody to win. I don't want nobody to lose. You know what I mean? I want everybody to. I want the fifth, sixth finish. You know, fifth, sixth person, the seventh, eighth person to make money after they leave the tournament.
Right.
And that's, you know, and with the money added and the way I figured it out, I think I got it to where fifth, sixth get $1,000 back. You know, which isn't bad money. So might be more. You know what I mean? If you get 100 players or more, there's no telling.
So do you see yourself transitioning now from being...
I think I almost feel like I have to take the initiative to move from pool player to a promoter.
Right.
Because I see too many promoters taking too much money. And I don't go support the tournaments, and I hate the fact that other people do, but I understand that they like to just play pool and that's their time off, and it is what it is. But they got to understand that if they take the initiative and don't support tournaments like that, these people can move out of the way and make it right for the guys that might actually do right for the industry. You know, so I mean, without saying no names, you know, there's promoters out there that make, you know, 100,000 or better in a matter of 4 or 5 days, which isn't right. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong. Everybody works for a living, you know, some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with them making money. They just don't have to make it in them masses, you know. If they want to make that money like that, do it, but do it everywhere. Do it every. If you want to make 50,000, that's fine. It's a lot of work what you're putting in to do your event. Do it, but do it 6 times a year. Don't do it that one time of the year and make all your money, and now all of a sudden you're nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the money's very short in the industry as it is. But if you don't,
and when that's the case already, it's like, how do you justify like making a killing off of, you know, something? If you love the sport, you know, if something's dying on the vine, then you know.
Everybody. Here's the thing. Pool players can leave for 20 years. They still come back to pool.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something there that is in all of us that even if we leave, we still end up coming back to this game.
Yeah.
Even though there really isn't no money and there hasn't been no money forever.
Right.
So the thing is, if you really like the game, then everybody should be trying to take initiative to show up to every single event that happens anywhere near them.
Yeah.
Just to support it, you know what I mean? If every event across the country, whether it was only 2,000 added or it was 5,000 or 10,000 added, if every place caught 100 players, pool would be booming again. You know what I mean? And every pool room wouldn't mind putting up $2,000 every single weekend. They wouldn't mind doing it, not one bit. You know, I mean, I got some things in the works where I wanted to open a pool room, and if I did, I'd probably have 1,000, 2,000 added tournament every month.
Yeah.
Just to do something. The thing is, there's a lot of ways for pool to go good. It's just sometimes I don't know everybody in the industry. I don't want to know everybody in the industry, because the thing is, I know things about them that I don't want to know, but I hear it, you know. So I choose not to get all into it, you know, and I don't want to sit there and beg or plead for every single sponsor or every single person to give X amount of money or do this, that, and the other. The people that are there, the people that really want to see the sport grow, they're there. They're not hiding, you know. They do the right thing at every tournament or every tour or every, you know, they're putting their 2 cents in. They're taking a chance. They're trying to build their business just like they're trying to build your business, you know. And they're trying to build the hobby and the sport, you know. It'd be nice. I mean, hopefully, you know, we all hear the same story for years. That I hear promoters tell me all the time, well, we're this close to getting, you know, we're going to get TV and we're going to get a big sponsor and, you know, we're going to have $1 million tour a year, you know. It's 20 years of this here, and I still haven't seen it. So we had it one time. And we just kind of got, and it wasn't even the guy's fault, really, truthfully, just, Congress didn't pass on the poker deal, and poker took a, bang, and we took a bang for it, so.
Did you play a lot of times in the monthly hard times tournaments?
Yeah, when I was around.
Or 1,000 added on Saturday and 1,000 added on Sunday?
No, they're only 300 added on Saturday and Sunday, but.
Were they?
Yeah, but it paid like $300 or $400 each day,
Nice.
But I mean, for a local, I didn't have to travel, so yeah, it's a no-brainer for me to play in it at the time, But I mean, anybody that's within 2 hours of there should always want to play in it, I would think. I mean, every pool room could probably want to do that, It just depends, It's all about how many pool players do you have in your area at your pool, Because not every pool room, I can't say every pool room can afford to do it, because it depends on how many players you have that'll be willing to put up $20 or $30, Thing is, really, the way that pool can change is once these league operators and leagues change the way that they're doing business.
Sure.
Not that they have to, and not that they need to, but if they really want to see the sport grow, then they'll give initiative to their players that are in their leagues for a reason to become better. Yeah. There's going to be a reason, like, hey, if you're a 5, there's a reason for you to want to become a 9, not for you to want to sandbag and stay at a 5.
Right.
To try to get to Vegas and win whatever it is, $2,000 or whatever it is, If there was a pro tour, and I'm using someone else's method that they're using right now, and hopefully it works out, and that'd be great, because it would work for a tour if every single league operator would give up 50 cents per player per week. You would have $1 million tour a year.
Wow.
$1 million, because I want you to remember. The APA, which is probably the biggest league, amateur league in the United States, which is it's one of the big companies that makes a lot of money every year, right? They make $26 million a year off of pool players. They give out $1 million a year. There might be some other hidden costs and other things, but that's a lot of money to be taken in and not giving nothing back. Now, I'll probably get blackballed for saying all this, but hey, it is what it is.
We don't want any blackballing. So one of the people wanted me to ask you what you think about the Fargo system.
I don't really know nothing about it. I don't pay attention to the ratings and all that. You can't rate something. It'll never work. It's just like
about it type of thing.
It's just like any system. How can you? It doesn't work. No handicapping system, whether it be pool, golf, or anything, will ever work, because you give people an initiative not to want to become better.
Yeah.
Why would I want to become better if I get 5 games on the wire going to 8 from you?
Right.
I don't want to become better. And I used to play the USPPA. I would want to become better just for the number, just to be like the highest number on there, But
I mean, there are people like that, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone is just a...
No, but I mean, for the most part, if you know once a year you got a chance to go win $5,000 or $6,000 or whatever, which to a lot of people might be good money. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it isn't their livelihood, So that one time they're stealing that $5,000, $6,000 because they're rated at a 20 instead of an 100, and they play like 100. But they got to go by the rating of what it is, So if they qualified at that number, then why can't they play that number, So, yeah, I don't really believe in the handicapping stuff. I don't think it's smart to do. I don't know what the Fargo rating's for or what it's used for. I just know I've heard of it or whatever. I don't even know how they use it, because there isn't enough data to really use it, for one. There's not enough tournaments to base it off of, and all you're basing it off of is scores, and how does that work? You know what I mean?
So what does game tight mean?
Just being the best at whatever you do, being at your best, not slacking on any part of whatever it is that you do best, know. So it doesn't have to be just for pool, you know, but it's for everyday life, you know. I mean, it's just, you know, not being naive, you know, being on top of your game, whether you're a stockbroker and you're the best at what you do, or whether you're a bowler and you're the best at what you do, or you're a pool player, you're the best at what you do. That's just pretty much what it means.
Do you display your shirts someplace in particular? Are they up on your Facebook page? Or?
I usually take orders through my Facebook PM, through my private messages and stuff, and I mail them out within a couple business days, you know, so anytime. I take PayPal. I'm trying to work on a website. It's just, you know, websites are a little fishy with whoever you end up having do them, so that's why I'm kind of just being real meticulous about whether or not I want to do it. I'll find somebody that I know pretty well, and then I'll do it, you know, so I just want to make sure.
How did you come up with the idea? Is it something that you had, like, just
I mean, it was something that we were working on for a while. One thing led to another. Some bad stuff had happened with some other people, and I just ended up saying, you know what, I'll do it on my own. You know, so I just said, you know what, I can do my own thing. And I had a friend of mine that wanted to do it with me, so I said, yeah, let's do it, you know. I said, I know it's going to take some time and some effort, but I'm willing to go ahead.
So you're going to have a booth at the BCA show? The tournament?
Yeah. We'll be in the main room. Our booth number's 26. So we're excited. It'll be our, you know, first time out there. We've only been in business for about 2.5 to 3 months, so, you know, but got my new polos that are coming there and new hats and everything. And we got everything. We got pool towels, t-shirts, 7-8 different designs, different colors of t-shirts and stuff. Sizes small through 5X. You know, we do all kinds of special order stuff too. So, you know, anything customized, we can do it. You know, my friend's the screen printer, so you know, we got an end to everything. So, and everything's pretty good as far as, you know, you're not gonna be waiting too long for your clothing.
Are you going to be at the APA show also? Or?
I'm gonna think about that. When I get down there, I'm gonna try to talk to somebody and see if that's a possibility. If it's a possibility, I might. I don't know, because I don't know.
Not sure yet.
Yeah. Just I got wait. It's just a lot. I got a lot of stuff going on, and it's kind of hard to be everywhere at the moment.
Right.
And you know, it's a lot of time, money, and effort. You know, and I still want to be able to play pool here and there.
Right.
And I still got to be home with the wife and kids, so it's kind of, you know, trying to do a lot is hard to carry, but trying to, you know.
Yeah.
I had a quick question for you, Tony. What did you think of the Make It Happen round robin format compared to this double elimination format you just experienced, as far as one pocket's concerned?
Oh, I like the Make It Happen event. I mean, I'd rather play round robin format, you know. I mean, it's nice that when you get to play all the good players and you get to play them all one time. I think next year he's going to do something a little bit different, just as far as the way we're dressed and stuff, so it's a little more comfortable, you know, because you want to see all pool players play at their top game in comfort. You don't want them to be, you know, uptight or anything. Really.
Was there a dress code and whatnot?
Yeah, you know, yeah, you gotta wear a vest and stuff, and it was really humid. You know, the weather just wasn't. It didn't make it right for the event to be wearing, you know, suits and vests and it's 90 degrees and it's humidity's high. It's kind of hard, you know. So, but you know, I like the event. I mean, there's nothing. You know, he did a great job, and you know, he helps the players, and you know, we all make a little bit of money. We're not coming out of pocket nothing. So, you know, anytime that's the way I believe. You know, professional pool should be done anyways. You know, we shouldn't have to, you know, we shouldn't have to come out with our own money or look for a state course or anything. You know, we should be able to, hey, if you win, you get paid for every time you win. If you don't win nothing, you're not going to get nothing. But, you know, so that's nice, you know.
Wish that were happening, but well, thank you very much for sitting down with us
very
and
welcome.
spending the time, and
no problem.
See you in Vegas.
Yep.
right.
For sure.
Good luck in your match with Bustamante. I want you to win on home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.